Hey guys, so Tier 4 announced a lot of people are trying to prepare for the new content in their own ways. Some people are getting rid of all their materials, some people are getting rid of their gems, some people are buying gems, some people are buying a lot of legendary books. And I wanted to tell you guys that we have a resource that I think is really good for helping us, one, learn what is coming in Tier 4 Season 3 and the new updates from the low on, but also two, giving you a suggestion on what you should be doing when you hit Tier 4 or how to prepare for Tier 4. Right here is Saint Tone's Loa on Summer 2024 Thought Web, and he goes through everything, right? Gearing, leveling, honing, advanced honing, gems, every single thing that they talk about the Loa on. And he also gives you his kind of tips and suggestions for preparing for Season 3/Tier 4. Now, I took a look at this and I actually copied it onto my own document because I wanted to talk about this, but also add a couple of my own notes into this as well and share that with you guys. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for this document right here, but let's dive into it. So Saint says that here are the do's for preparing for Season 3 in Tier 4. So first, he says, keep stockpiling Darkfires if you're under 1630. Complete up to Transcendence Stage 3, then wait until cost reductions nerf, which makes a lot of sense. If you're under 1630, you're basically going to be at a lower level of Transcendence, and you don't get that unlocked, the higher levels of Transcendence unlocked until you clear Gate 3 Hard Mode Theamine. So it makes sense. Everybody under 1630, stockpile your Darkfires so that when you're able to finally get to 1630 or even 1640 with the Season 4 update or the Season 3 update, you're going to be able to quickly and efficiently get those Darkfires, use the reduction in the cost, and be able to get your Transcendence up easier. Next, advanced honing. He talks about how advanced honing, you can wait until T4 to advanced hone. The materials will switch to T4 mats. But the thing is, those T4 mats at the beginning will likely be very expensive. This has been the case for every single reset, every single soft reset, every single hard reset. The new materials are always going to be extremely expensive right at the beginning. So he recommends that you can wait, but he also talks about how, even if you do some advanced honing, that's totally fine because T3 is probably going to still be cheaper than T4 at the beginning. But for me, I think that this is the safest route. So first, wait until we see the cost breakdown of advanced honing before versus after T4 to hone. So in Korea, they're going to be getting that content before us, right? So we're going to go see what they see, what the numbers are, what the costs are for them, and then we can use that information to decide whether or not we should use advanced honing. That's the safest route. But you kind of have to think about this on multiple levels, right? Because will we even need advanced honing initially? If we think about it this way, right? Our characters are going to be going from 1620, right? 1620 to 1640. Well, what is the content that we're doing at 1640? We can then do the latest content, which, I'd expect it to be the latest content, which is Behemoth. So right out of the gate, from 1620 to 1640, we actually don't really need any more item level to do the latest content. Now, you can say that we could potentially get gate kept, though, because if everybody does end up doing advanced honing and getting that extra 10, extra 20 item level, then most people are going to be at either 1650 or 1660 item level. At least that's what I think, right? Well, it depends on how the conversion is. Is it like a flat plus 20, or if it is, there's some sort of like weird conversion there, right? But either way, you're going to be above 1640 if you have done advanced honing before you do the conversion from tier 3 to tier 4. So that's some things to keep in mind, right? But in my opinion, the best thing to do is just wait at the moment. Stockpile your echidna mats, the stuff that you get from echidna to do advanced honing. Then eventually, when it comes out in Korea, we can see what the cost breakdown is and whether or not we need advanced honing for now. Like, we're always going to need advanced honing. Don't get me wrong. At some point, we're going to need advanced honing. But how far along is that? Is it much later in tier 4 that we'll need it? And then by then, the tier 4 mats will have dropped, because I'm pretty sure using tier 4 mats will be a reduction in the number of mats necessary to do advanced honing. But the thing is, we don't know about the cost, because the cost of tier 4 mats at the beginning is 100% going to be way more expensive than the cost of T3 mats. So my advice is just to sit there and wait. Don't worry too much about advanced honing at the beginning. Just wait and see what happens in Korea, and then you can make a decision whether or not you think that it makes sense for you to do some advanced honing with T3 mats, or it makes sense to do some advanced honing with T4 mats. Now, again, some people might not go this route. They might not want to go the safe route. They might just want to do advanced honing, and that's totally fine, right? But this is the safest, least risky route in my opinion. Now, next, he says stockpile gold, which makes sense, right? If you have nothing to upgrade, right? If you're not pushing to 1630, if you're sticking at 1620, you're probably going to be stockpiling a good amount of gold. And it makes sense. And if you stockpile gold and hold on to it, you are going to be able to use that gold in T4 to be able to do your upgrades, to be able to buy accessories, buy gems, whatever it might be. But gold is a currency that will basically stay there forever, right? Throughout tier 1, tier 2, T3, T4, it's gonna be the same. So stockpiling gold is never a bad idea in this situation. Again, some people don't like to play like that, but if you're talking about the most efficient thing to do, it probably is to stockpile gold. Now, I also wanted to add on to stockpile pheons, because if you think about it this way, every tier up we've had, right? The cost of buying things, buying accessories, buying bracelets, buying anything that involves pheons always goes up. So I would expect that the tier 4 items that you buy that require pheons to require even more pheons than before. So I would recommend not buying accessories right now, not buying bracelets, not buying stones, not buying anything that needs pheons, and just stockpile those pheons. I know a lot of you guys have a good amount of pheons, but for somebody like me who frequently likes to gamble things in the market, I'm going to be sitting still and not using my pheons. Just hold on to it and wait until tier 4. Next, he says, if you're ahead of the curve, you can work on getting a few alts to 1620 if you haven't already, which again makes sense. You have more characters in T4, have more fun with new content. Now, for me, what I'm going to do is just that. I'm personally not going to be pushing any of my characters to 1630 until we get more information from Korea. For now, I'm just staying put, and if anything, maybe honing my alts closer and closer to 1620. But for the most part, just staying put and not pushing anything until I get more information. Now that's about it for the do's. Now for the don'ts. So he recommends not to make a plus 25 icon weapon, which makes sense because with the new tier, right, we're going to be transferring our gear. The glow might be getting worse when we transfer it. We don't know if we might not be able to stick with the 25 glow if you get your 25 weapon. And then, in addition to that, usually when you have this soft reset, it gets easier to do hones, easier to upgrade. While at first the cost is much higher because the materials are going to be more expensive, but if you're just using bound mats to hone, that cost is definitely going to be much lower than if you were going to be honing right now in tier 3. So he recommends not to go for the plus 25 weapon unless you really, really want that glow for now, because later on it might have a chance to go away. The other thing he says is don't brute force a 9-7 or a 10-6 stone. At the moment, we just don't know what the ideal engravings are to have on our stone in tier 4, which does make very much sense. We just don't know. We don't even know if the engravings we have right now are going to be meta in the next patch. We don't know if they're going to be meta in tier 4 because they are changing up a little bit about how engravings work and also buffing up some of the less used engraving as well. So the next meta might not be the same engravings we have right now. We just don't know. And then he says not to optimize elixirs. It's been confirmed that the cost of elixirs will be reduced by approximately 50%. Once that occurs, you can feel free to optimize them. And to that, what I will say is that if you don't have a 35 or 40 set, you may or may not want to upgrade because there might be some quality of life updates coming to us sooner than we expect. If you think about it this way, right? for quality of life, a lot of times those things have come to us much before the actual content comes to us, like way before Korea gets it, right? So my advice is to just wait until the Echidna update, because we might even see the reduction in cost for Transcendence and Elixirs as early as that patch. We'll have to see. Sit still for, like a week to 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to see. Of course, if you want to do it, these are just my suggestions. You don't have to follow them. They're, at the end of the day, suggestions. But my suggestion is, even if you don't have 35 or 40 set, just sit still and wait for a little bit. You can try to get them when Echidna pops up, and you'll have all those elixirs stored up and held. But you can, of course, cut your free ones, right? I'm just talking about the gold ones. The next one is don't cut bracelets. Currently, we don't know if we get to convert T3 bracelets over to T4. If we can't, that means all of our current bracelets are defunct and must be replaced. Need to wait for news on this. So yeah, simple as that. They really haven't let us know whether or not we can convert our T3 bracelets into T4 bracelets. So the best thing to do right now is wait. Ideally, and in theory, if it is really a soft reset for everything, then they should be able to be converted. But we just don't know. And that's also along with materials, right? The materials for, for leaps, shards, well, maybe not shards, I don't know, we'll see about that one, but leaps, the obliteration stones, the destruction stones, whatever they're called, those materials will probably be able to convert those into tier 4 as well, if it really is a soft reset. And then with that too, he says, don't use your cube tickets. They may be beneficial for expediting for level 70. We don't know for sure right now, but I think that it does make sense to hold on to your cube tickets. That way, if we do get the levels, or when we do get the level 70 boost, right, the increase of the cap to level 70, we'll have all these cubes to hopefully give us a big boost of EXP to be able to get to level 70 quicker. Now, another thing I didn't really talk about on this and didn't mention, now I'm thinking about it, is when it comes to like materials too. Right now for T3, I know a lot of people are offloading their materials. If you plan to do Echidna honing, right, advanced honing, you're still going to need those materials. And again, as I mentioned before, advanced honing is always going to be a thing. So I would say that maybe don't sell those materials right now. It's up to you again. For me, I'm not selling my mats because I'm probably going to be trying at least to use that advanced honing, but it's up to you. But yeah, last thing, this section I added for myself, and this is the toss-up section, because a lot of people are asking about gems. Should I buy gems? Should I sell gems? What should I do? And most of the people are like, should I buy gems right now, right? Because gems are dropping like crazy in terms of price. What I will say to that is buying gems is going to be a gamble for sure. We don't know. Will the T4 gems be a 3-to-1 conversion like they are right now, right? We need 3 level 7 gems to convert into a level 8 gem. Will they be more? We just don't know that at the moment. So if it is still 3-to-1, investing now could potentially be big money, because if you get those quick and early level 10s, those whales are going to eat that up and buy that stuff out for a premium. And pretty much only the people who have invested in level 10s previously or are currently right now throwing their money into gems are going to be able to take advantage of this early level 10 premium. But at the same time, if it's not a 3-to-1 conversion, it may not make sense because maybe it's like a 5-to-1 conversion, right? And that might be really expensive. So we don't really know. At the end of the day, it's still a gamble. I think that, in my opinion, when I'm thinking about it, it's probably a decently safe bet if and only if you're able to jump into the market with T4 early. If you can sell those early level 10 gems, damage gems, even cooldowns actually, both, at T4, I think you will definitely cash out big, regardless of if it's 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1. But I'm not sure. It's a gamble. So what I would say is, if you do want to gamble, right, wait for the market to settle so it's at its lowest point before buying those gems. For me, I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm still thinking whether or not I should invest in it or not. But I think I still have a little bit of time, and I also don't have much money anyways. So I guess why am I thinking about it? But for you guys who do, if you do invest in it, it definitely is a gamble. But I don't know if it really is even the biggest gamble, because I do think that the day one people who want to buy the level 10 damage gems are going to be buying them at a premium. And if you're able to hop into that, you're going to get a good amount of money. But that about wraps it up for this video. I just wanted to make you guys aware that this document, that Saint has this document out right now that's really, really useful. And also as well as to give you his suggestions in addition to my suggestions for preparing for T4. But guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed that video. If you did, please let me know down in the comment section below. And as per usual, please remember to hit the like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notifications, and also I stream every single night on twitch.tv/MisoXShiru starting at 10 p.m. PST. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, but if not, hopefully I'll see y'all in the next video. All right, guys, peace out.